6'2" senior, number 5, Lamont Perkins. And a 6'3" junior, number 12, Malachi Albraski. The assistant coaches, James Kirkland, Larry Brandt, and Austin Matta. The head coach of the Tigers, Dan DeRose. And now, starting for your Gateway Gators, a 6'1" senior, number 1, Kofi Getchie. A 5'11" senior, number 4, Jax Ramirez. A 6'4" senior, number 11, Isaiah Allah. A 6'1" senior, number 13, Chris Settle. And a 6'7" senior, number 12, Raquel Bruce McKeesport. The assistant coaches of the Gators are Aaron Kelly, Kurt Cruz, and Chaz McCroman. And the head coach of the Gators, Fred Benson.
Welcome everyone to Gateway High School for Friday Night Hoops here. Vince Russo on the call as usual here on Gateway Gator Productions.com. Should be a great matchup tonight between McKeesport Tigers and your Gateway Gators. Big section tilt here as this is the penultimate game of the regular season for the Gators. We enter into this one at 14-6, 12-1. Section title in the playoffs already in the bag. But for McKeesport, who's 6-6-7 in the section, and 9-11 overall, they're in a four-way log jam and looking to try and get into the postseason. But a turnover right off the opening tip, which was won by McKeesport, will give the Gators the real first crack at getting points on the board here. Just 4 seconds in. Hope everyone is doing well. McKeesport starting out a bit of zone defense here. And the Gators trying to shoot their way out of this zone. Bruce McCroman pulls up. There's that 21, 24, and 24 in his last 3 games continues. A torrid scoring pace. This in his senior year. An offer has come in from Iona. So Bruce McCroman, a bona fide D1 prospect, and it's his zone the other way. And we heard reports off the air before the game that McKeesport might try to really slow this game down. And certainly that looks like what they are doing here in the early going. If that's the case, you might expect a low-scoring contest in this one, just out of the sheer amount of time that gets taken off the clock. The Gators got to be careful not to either get lulled, get overzealous, commit a lot of fouls, or to try and, again, get overzealous and picking a pass off and allowing an easy cut to the basket. So far, so good. Gators have held McKeesport at bay. Not that the Tigers are really pushing things here all that much. The Gators student section already announcing their displeasure with this strategy by the Tigers. Gators with their usual starters in the contest. Kofi Getchie, Jax Ramirez, Isaiah Allah, Mikel Bruce McCroman, and Chris Settles. And there is a foul called. And that's exactly what McKeesport wants, is for the Gators to get impatient.
Number 14.
Commit fouls just like that, far away from the basket. So that one called on Chris Settles. It's the first foul called in the game. That comes against the Gators here with 5:43 left in the opening frame and no score on the board. McCrommon, as he so often does, good at poking that ball loose, but the Tigers get back to it, nearly commit the over and back. Now a drive inside and right up against Bruce McCrommon, laying that one up and in is Lamont Perkins, who starts the scoring here for both teams. McKeesport draws first blood. Ichi wide open, can't get it to go. Hits the top of the backboard and then the bottom of the hanging clock there, and so it'll be given back to McKeesport. And for the Gators, got to be careful not to put too much pressure on every offensive possession, but certainly it's going to be difficult for the Gators to get into a rhythm offensively if they're only going to touch it every 2-3 minutes. This is a big game for the Tigers. We talked about tied with three other teams, for fourth place. And another foul call. This one going to be against Isaiah Allah. Take a look there. Allah getting tangled up with a player going for the ball there, Jair Bray for McKeesport. Couple fouls here in the opening few minutes of this contest, both against the Gators. And McKeesport will settle back in and just sort of taking their time. Nice ball movement here, but again, they're going to push it back out after getting a good look toward the bucket there. No shot taken. The Tigers just going to milk this clock. Certainly what they're doing is not in any way, shape, or form against any rules or protocol within the game, with there being no shot clock until 2027, and which at that point, this kind of play will be prohibited due to that shot clock. But I think everyone in the gym knows it's an affront to the game of basketball overall. Ball tipped out of bounds by the Gators. Allah was the last to touch it. So Tigers will maintain possession here. You feel for the fans that paid money to get into this building. They wanted to watch some basketball, the full parts of the game. Inside, and again the Tigers are going to pull it back out, as there was quite the size differential there. We had number 2 for McKeesport, Aaron Rader, who is 6 foot tall overall, but still giving up 6 inches to 6'6" Mikkel Bruce McCrommon. Foul toward the bucket. That's going to be on Jax Viveris. Third team foul on the Gators. First foul on Viveris. It'll lead to free throws for the Gators, or excuse me, for the Tigers. But the Gators, however, will get a chance, whether it be by a rebound off a miss on the second shot, or if it's a make on the second shot, they get a chance to get the ball back here. Get their first points in this one.
Number 12.
As Reeder knocks down the first of 2, and back in is Malachi Groski for the Tigers. Starting 5 still all on the floor for the Gators, who are down by a pair. Another sub in for McKeesport. That's Gianni Grace. And again, it's been about 2.5 minutes since the Gators last touched the ball. They have had 2 field goal attempts in this first quarter, a mid-range jumper off the mark. Is that one up and good? Jax Rivera is able to knock down the shot to get the Gators on the board for the first time tonight. 5 minutes and 45 seconds into this game. Nice take inside. A little Euro step there by Perkins, who now has 4. And a turnover. Gators have the ball taken away, and now McKeesport take their time even getting this past the half-court stripe. Has a couple subs set to check in. Jonathan Ward set to come in, as well as Martin Howard. 2 of the first guys usually off the bench for the Gateway Gators. The first time they deviate from the starting 5 as Rivera's tried taking that one away. About a minute to play left here in the first quarter between the Gators and the Tigers. And a low-scoring affair as the Tigers have been adamant about bringing this game to a halt. Out of travel will give the ball back to the Gators. A chance to pull within 1 or 2 points here. Less than a minute to play. Subs do come in Ward and Howard. And number 2 back into the contest, Aaron Reeder, after a quick break. And to the bench now is Daryl McCullough. Back in as well, Jair Bray, who will spell Gianni Grace, who just logged his first few minutes off the bench. McCrommon all by his lonesome, able to let that one go, but then the ball again, second out of 4 attempts by the Gators that has hit the top of the backboard and resulted in a turnover. McKeesport playing the game they wanted to play. They have dictated the rules of engagement here early in this one, and it's led to a 4-point lead in what feels like a must-have game for the Tigers. They could still make the playoffs with a loss, but certainly life gets a lot easier for them if they are able to beat the Gators tonight. For the Gators trying to put a really nice bow on what has been a section title season. Just 1 section loss, a 2-point controversial finish in Murraysville, where a goaltending call with 4 seconds left on Bruce McCrommon gave the go-ahead points and an eventual win to the Franklin Regional Panthers. For McKeesport, they have been free-falling at the absolute worst moment. 3 straight losses. 4 straight section losses overall. And the Gators, they know they're going to have limited opportunities, and they have not used them wisely. They have rushed shots, and that time a long full-court pass that goes over the head of the intended target. And so now with 3 seconds left, McKeesport in all likelihood will get the last crack at it here. Half-court shot, and it's good.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Gateway. Tigers
So,
6, Gators
score
3.
after 1, 6-2. Not a whole lot of action, but McKeesport comes out on top, at least after 1. Gateway Cheer Squad will take to the floor, and I'll take a deep breath before we put 8 more minutes on the clock for quarter number 2. Not a lot of scoring to break down in this one thus far. Lamont Perkins leading with 4 points. Aaron Reeder with 2. Jax Riveras with the only bucket for the Gators. Let's take a look at the Gators' schedule as they come down the stretch. After starting 4-4, Gators have won 10 of 12. It's been a special season, a section title season, as we mentioned. And the Gators have one more contest in the regular season. They'll head to Cannonsburg in the South Hills, home of Sarah's Candy. Take on the Cannon-McMillan Big Macs in a 5A, 6A non-section matchup. And Gators, for all intents and purposes, have done the work they needed to set themselves up for what hopefully will be a good seed in the postseason bracket. Certainly wins over McKeesport and Cannon-McMillan and pushing their record to 16-6 would help in what is a top-heavy 5A with some really good teams. You got Thomas Jefferson at 19-2. You got Chartiers Valley strong again, along with Lincoln Park, a team the Gators just fell to the other day in a nice contested matchup. Open look, but a foul as Chris Settles got that one off. Flying in and committing the foul, getting part of the arm there was Jair Bray. First foul, I believe, in the contest overall against McKeesport. It's Bray's first personal foul. So take a look there. The infraction. And so Chris Settles a chance to make this a 2-point game if he can knock down both free throws. Settles gets them both. And the Gators back within a bucket. Settles all over the ball handler who picks up his dribble. That ball is loose. And a timeout is called by the head man for McKeesport, Dan DeRose. Rose hired the spring of 2025. He has quite the resume overall. Has a 150-64 record as a coach at the high school level. Stints at South Park, North Allegheny, Carleton, and most notably some time at Penn Hills that included an average of 20 wins per season, 5 playoff berths, and the 2018 WPIAL title as head man of the Indians. Vern Benson, the head coach for the Gators, is not in the mascot costume. Over on the sidelines there on your screen, sporting the black crew neck and slacks. His first season at helm of the Gators, taking over for Alvis Rogers, has led the Gators to an impressive 12-1 record, 14-6 overall. And again, talked about it. Gators treaded water a little bit early in the season with some stiff non-section competition, but in section, they have been very nearly unbeatable. Seconds in, and what points we have to speak of in the second quarter. A couple free throws by Chris Settles. Was able to draw a foul committed by number 3, Jair Bray. Spin inside, and this one thrown away. Now, can the Gators tie it or take the lead? Good ball movement. And underneath the reversal, a little too strong there for Allah, who head coach Vern Benson calls a silent assassin, someone who isn't splashy or overly vocal, but it always seems to be around the ball, making plays. That time had a good look inside, just couldn't get it to go. And the Tigers step out of bounds. A couple unforced errors on the Tigers. They throw a pass away, step out of bounds, 2 turnovers on consecutive trips down the floor. Keeps the door open for the Gators to tie or take their first lead in this contest. McKeesport will continue to play at 3-2 zone. She thought about a pass, a lot of dribbling here. Passes are what beats the zone. And a drive here, again off the mark, but Bruce McCrommon comes up with the Gators' first offensive rebound and is able to get out of harm's way. Finds Riveras open. That one just a bit too strong. And now it's turned over. McCrommon's pass. Bruce McCrommon intercepted. There's no real flow in this game. There's a look underneath and a thunderous block by Bruce McCrommon. Brings this crowd to its feet for the first time. Hadn't been a whole lot to get excited about. And at the other end, Riveras, a good look, tried to take the lid off this place. And now it'll be Geechee. Another open look from three. Oh, that one looked like it was going to go, and now a foul underneath. That's going to be on the Tigers.
Tiger foul, number 2, Aaron Reeder.
So that one called on Aaron Reeder. Second foul on McKeesport, both coming in this second quarter. Gators have not yet committed a foul in the second frame. Again, another look from three, and Viveras can't get that one to go. And a travel call. Looked like there was some contact underneath, but no call. So the Gators get another crack at it here. They've had a ton of open looks from the perimeter and just haven't been able to get one to go. See if off the inbound they're able to get this ball inside. As we are inching closer to the halfway mark of the second quarter. Another three off the mark. Bruce McCrommon doesn't overthink it, just puts it back up from less than 10 feet out. And that's Bruce McCrommon's first points in this one. Now we have a blocking foul called on the Gators. That's going to be against the aforementioned Bruce McCrommon. So all tied up here at 6. Timeout called by McKeesport. It's a 4-0 advantage in this quarter for the Gators.
Timeout.
Clock has stopped exactly halfway through. 4 minutes left till halftime, at which point we'll take a 10-minute break. So while we have a moment, let's talk a little bit about the section standings and how we got to this point. Franklin Regional had a really strong start to the season, but they have been in total free fall since, which has opened the door for Penn Trafford to nudge their way into second place behind the Gators. Uniontown, McKeesport, Trobe, and Laurel Highlands. They're in tow. Back into the game now with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Not a team in double digits yet, and you'll see why here. McKeesport just content to slow this game down to a halt. Gators have done a good job applying pressure, forcing some turnovers without committing too many fouls. Just 3 fouls in total overall. And no player on the court for the Gators with more than one, including Bruce McCrommon, who's able to tie that ball up. And as it pops out, it's last touched by the Tigers. So the Gators with a chance here to take their first lead of the night. And certainly getting McKeesport out of this strategy will take getting a bit of a lead here. Trying to force McKeesport to score points in bunches and thus altering their offensive game plan. Viveras again from 3. Cannot get it to go. Gators have struggled in the early going here, shooting from the perimeter. Not a lot of good looks inside, and even one of the ones they did have. It's a reverse layup off the mark by Isaiah Allah. Drive inside, McKeesport takes it, that's off the mark. And the Gators have done a great job rebounding in this game. Bruce McCrommon rises, fires, calls his own number, coast to coast. There's 4 points in the quarter, and the Gators now find themselves in front for the first time tonight. Oh, trap attempt just past half court, and it works. Another turnover. Daryl McCullough couldn't hang on to the ball. Take another look, he had Viveris and Bruce McCrommon and just lost the handles with the pressure around him. Bruce McCrommon absorbs some contact, gets it back in the corner. That shot just off the mark, and a strong rebound underneath before it's lost. And a held ball underneath as Isaiah Allah tried to get the shot off to try and draw a foul, get to the free throw line. Not a good call by the officials. As we take another look.
Timeout, Tigers.
McKeesport will take another timeout. Here with 2:14 left before the halftime break. Some of the most athleticism you'll see tonight. The tumble passes by the Gateway Gator cheer squad. Now here come the Tigers. We got ribbons flying all over the floor. Great job by both cheer squads there, drumming up some excitement in the crowd. A lot of John going on back and forth between these cheer squads. Two rival communities, two communities that take a ton of pride in their sports programs. We got a good crowd here tonight. The student section looked like it was a little sparse around tip-off, but now approaching the last few minutes before halftime, it's really filled out nicely. Energy is palpable, even for only having 14 points scored here in the first half. It's just a 2-point game with the Gators on top. And a foul called on Bruce McCrommon. That's going to be his second. End of the game for the Gators. Nehemiah Nichols.
Bruce McCrommon. Here comes Settles back in.
Chris Settles will spell Bruce McCrommon. They'll let him get a breather here with those two fouls. He's got 4 of the Gators' 8 points. Gators fail to switch. Almost leads to an easy look, but good recovery defense forces a tough take. Yeah, the Gators once again do a great job. One and done for McKeesport. They clear the boards and Settles. A good look from 3, but he can't get that one to go. And then a foul going to get called there on Jonathan Ward. It'll be the first foul on Ward. It'll be the 3rd team foul on the Gators. So they still have 1 foul to give before they put McKeesport in the bonus. Nearly another turnover. The Gators getting a little bit better at timing out the slow approach by McKeesport. Chris Settles just ran out of real estate to come up with that one. Ferris will head to the bench, and Kofi Geechee back in for the Gators. About 90 seconds to play till halftime. Can the Tigers tie or take the lead here before the break? Will the Gators survive this different playing style to take a lead into halftime? Nichols loses his footing for a second, but then the Tigers lose the ball. If you're going to try to play keep away, you've got to be able to have some handles, and the Tigers here in the second quarter have not done themselves any favors, nor have they scored any points. All 6 points scored in this quarter have been the Gators. Pressure applied by Settles. Almost looked like a walk there. Now it's going to be an easy layup take. And a chance for three the old-fashioned way. Timely for McKeesport to get its first points of the second quarter. A tough take inside. Daryl McCullough able to lay that one up and in. The foul's called on Martin Howard. His first, the fourth team foul on the Gators. 35 seconds left. If they commit another foul, it'll send McKeesport into the bonus. As McCullough can't finish the three-point play. They'll get the outlet pass to Geechee quickly, and the Gators will get it past half court with 30 seconds to try and get a shot off here to reclaim the lead after McCullough's take. And the Gators throw it away. Martin Howard not ready for the pass, can't corral it. So in all likelihood, the last shot attempt will come from the Tigers. They can avoid turning it over, which has not been an easy task in the second quarter. The Gators have done a really good job generating turnovers. That time, that pass was real tall for Gianni Grace, who had to really climb the ladder to come down with that one. And now we got 7 seconds left. Ball tipped away. Tigers get a good look at it. It's too strong. And it looked like Grace was a little off balance there as he let that one go. And so the Gators catch a break. And we have nothing decided after one half of play. 8-all is our score. Bruce McCrammon leads the Gators with 4 points. Lamont Perkins leads the Tigers with 4 points. We'll step aside. Be back in about 10 minutes here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Don't go anywhere. Just a few more ticks before we get the second half rolling here at Gateway High School between the Gators and the McKeesport Tigers. Low scoring affair if you're joining us just now and missed the first half. No, not an error on the scoreboard. It is 8-8 at the half. McKeesport, their game plan tonight to hold the ball as long as possible and move it around on offense without really taking many chances, waiting to see if the Gators will bite, get a little overzealous, give them a clean path to the basket. For the Gators, they have had very limited opportunities offensively and have struggled to capitalize on them. McKeesport's led by Lamont Perkins. It has 4 at the halftime break. Daryl McCullough had a tough take to the rim and a chance for a three-point play, but couldn't finish it, so has 2 points, and Aaron Reeder with a pair as well. For the Gators, Bruce McCrammon's 4 points in the second quarter paced the Gators. Chris Settles and Jax Riveras have buckets as well for Gateway. Gators will have the ball here first, and McCrammon relentless in driving to the hoop and able to draw the foul in the opening seconds here. That one's going to be it's number 12 for McKeesport.
Number 12, Malachi Ogroski. 2 shots.
Ogroski picks that one up.
Bruce McCrammon.
That'll be his first and the first team foul for McKeesport here in this third quarter as McCrammon comes up empty. A little too strong on that first of the 2 free throws. Can't get either of them to go. So another missed opportunity for the Gators, who led briefly down the stretch. Ball's loose, and Viveras going to be fouled. There's a bit of a helter-skelter play there. sort of a tale of two quarters in that first half. It was a 6-2 first quarter in favor of McKeesport, then a 6-2 quarter in favor of the Gators to get us to where we are now. McKeesport didn't register a point in that second quarter until very late when McCullough got to the rim. Open from three, and again the Gators just 0 for on the night. They have had more than a half a dozen good looks from three, including that one. And whether it be Bruce McCraman, Geechee, Viveris, no one able to make it go. Now McCraman trying to get back behind the defense, and his layup is off the mark. And this Gators offense, just no rhythm, no real pulse. They've played incredibly well defensively, have crashed the boards incredibly well. But the transition points have not been there, and that has allowed the Tigers to continue to play at this pace, or lack thereof. Foul underneath. That's going to be the second foul on Chris Settles. It's going to be a shooting foul. So it'll give Lamont Perkins a chance to get some points here with the clock stopped. And he gets the first while staring down the teeth of this Gators student section, which has been raucous. And look at that inflatable Gator there underneath. Second one no good. Bruce McCraman clears it and Settles with a clear path. He takes it. Allah fouled underneath after a nifty offensive rebound.
Tiger foul number 3, Brady. 2 shots.
It's going to be the second foul on Jair Bray for McKeesport. Neither team with anyone really in considerable foul trouble just yet. As Allah able to knock down the first of two to tie this game back up. His second will give the Gators a chance to poke back in front, give them their second lead of this contest. And he gets it to go. First points for Isaiah Allah, coming a big moment to give the Gators a 1-point lead midway through this third quarter. Tigers going to drive, and that one was just too easy. McCullough doubles his scoring output up to this point, puts McKeesport back in front with his third and fourth points of the night. Inside, Allah. A nice up and under move. Able to get the defender off his feet, finishes underneath, and so 4 straight points for Allah. Puts the Gators back in front. A little bit of traction here offensively. Back and forth we go. McKeesport going to try to bring an end to that. And slowing this one back down. Oh no, another drive and a shot. And it's off the mark. Gators. A nice pass inside. The no-look feed from Bruce McCraman to Allah. He was ready, and he finishes 6 straight points for the senior. And a timeout is called by McKeesport. Actually, I think that one might have been called by the Gators. So Vern Benson rallies the troops as the Gators able to start this quarter on a 6-3 run. Talked a little earlier in the broadcast what this game means for McKeesport. A 4-way tie in the section standings at 6 and 7. You see it right there on your screen. And so a little bit more about that. If all 4 teams remain tied after tonight, which all teams are in game action, here's how the head-to-head tiebreakers would stand. McKeesport is 3-1 in head-to-head competition. Uniontown 2-2. Latrobe 2-2, and Laurel Highlands 1-3. Important to note, none of these teams play head-to-head against each other tonight. McKeesport would finish 4th and clinch if all these teams are tied, and the other 3 would go back to head-to-head. And then all 3 would be 2-2, so all 3 teams would qualify. So if all these teams stay tied tonight, they all make the playoffs. If Latrobe wins, who's playing Albert Gallatin tonight, it's a team that has not won in the section yet, and the other 3 teams remain tied, or the other teams lose tonight, the Wildcats would be 4th, and head-to-head among the 3 tied teams would go to McKeesport, giving them that final spot in the postseason. So a loss certainly doesn't doom the Tigers, but a win would certainly behoove them this late in the game. The foul is called on the drive there, and headed to the free throw line will be Aaron Reeder, as Allah picks up his 2nd foul. Reeder can't get the first, so that student section is giving the Tigers an earful. Reeder 2 points thus far in the contest tonight. That's where he'll stay after missing both free throws. But then Bruce McCrommon going to throw it away again. Had a pass like that late in the first quarter. Taps his chest, he knows that's on him. That time just airmailed it. Head coach Vern Benson was talking about how Jax Riveras is the team's vocal leader, but sort of the overall leader by presence and performance is Bruce McCrommon. There's a reason he's the last one introduced during the starting lineups. He is the guy for this team. Has an easy look underneath and nearly a dunk, and a little bit of a taunt there after the lay-in by Bray. He was certainly pumped up as he pulls the Tigers back within 1. The one thing Vern Benson talked about that sets Mikel Bruce McCrommon apart is his poise. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Quick pass inside, Allah juggles it, lets it go, and almost gets it to go amid a flurry of contact. Foul will be called on number 11, Gianni Grace.
Tiger foul number 11, Johnny Grace.
So that will send Allah to the free throw line as a quick conversation between one of the officials and Lamont Perkins. Allah short on the first. Isaiah Allah with 6 points in this quarter, all of the Gators' points. He currently leads all scorers. Seven now for Allah as he gets that second free throw to go, and the lead back up to 2 for the Gators as we inch closer to the halfway mark of the quarter. Dunk underneath. A little bit more taunting from Jair Bray. Giving it right back to the Gators student section. All squared up at 15. Underneath to Allah again, hesitates. Able to lay it in. Having a massive quarter here for the Gators. He's on the doorstep of double figures with 9 points in the quarter after the Gators as a team only scored 8 points in the whole first half. Meanwhile, the Tigers not deviating away from their strategy. They've been a little quicker to pull the trigger and try to get a look as opposed to stretches of 2-3 minutes in the first half where they would just sort of take the air out of the ball. But it is still far from a frenetic pace here. Maya Nichols back into the contest off the bench. Jax Viveris get a well-deserved rest. Nichols thrown right into the flames. He's on the ball right there. Pass taken away. They look for the alley-oop. Couldn't get it to Perkins, and then the pass from Perkins inside. Intercepted by Kofi Yichi. Gets it to McCrammon, who steps on the boundary line. And another missed opportunity for the Gators. And it feels like every time they've had an opportunity to seize control of the momentum, go on a little bit of a run, turnovers or settling for jump shots has really plagued this Gators offense. McCrammon climbs the ladder, bats that pass from Gianni Grace away. And again, it's an easy layup on the back end. Vern Benson looking for a travel as there was no dribble before the player took 2 steps. Which is generally a travel. It's just one of those kind of nights, I guess. Very unique basketball game we're watching. Isaiah Allah fouled underneath. And the Tigers are guilty of more than 5 fouls, as that's going to be the 3rd foul on Bray. So that will send Allah to the line to try and break this game that's tied once again. After Bray just moments ago, who has had a great 3rd quarter, right around the rim and getting behind the defense, 6 points overall, but he has been outdone by Isaiah Allah, who now has 10 points here in the 3rd quarter, as a couple subs come into the game for McKeesport, including Aaron Reeder and number 12, Malachi Orgoski. Allah was 1 of 2. First time at the line, he'll go 1 for 2 again. Comes up empty on the 2nd free throw, but it does give the Gators a razor-thin 1-point lead with a few minutes left in the 3rd. And a travel underneath. Perkins walked. Take another look at those feet. That pivot foot on the left pivot foot there moved a little bit. So good call and Gators ball. This has generally been the point where disaster has struck for the Gators offense. Can they come away with some points here? That one nearly intercepted. Instead, it's an open look for Settles. Cromman gets it back, but a really nice defensive play, tipping that one out. Gators do a really good job getting back on their horses to get back into the play defensively. Chris Settles, he has been just a boundless well of energy, chasing the ball around atop the key near half court. And has really done a good job, has played within himself. Only 2 fouls. All the Gators have done a really remarkable job staying out of foul trouble. Tigers faithful wanted a shot there by Aaron Reeder. Hard to blame them. We lamented in the first half. Fans paid money to get into this game. And to see a player pass up a wide open shot like that in a crucial game just doesn't feel right. Less than a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. There's a drive by Perkins. And again, the Tigers inexplicably just pass up a wide open look from the corner. Orgoski had no one within 5 feet of him, could have pulled the trigger there and had a wide open look from 3. Gators do commit a foul. That's going to be the first one on the evening for Nehemiah Nichols, 3rd team foul for the Gators. So they still have 1 foul to give with 38 seconds left before putting McKeesport in the bonus, which the Gators have been in the bonus now for much of this 3rd quarter. Tigers looking to go ahead here with a bucket in the waning seconds of the third. Gators trying to get a stop. Take the narrowest of margins into the ultimate frame. Open look underneath. Too strong, and a late whistle comes in with a lot of protests from the Gators faithful. It's going to be a blocking foul, and it's going to be on Bruce McCrommon. His third foul. Take another look. There's certainly some contact underneath. Bruce McCrommon just a little late getting back over defensively into that play. Malachi Krosky, no points thus far in this one. And he's well off the mark on that first free throw. And think about it, we've talked about the Gators not being able to get much of a rhythm offensively due to the slow pace of this game. You could say much of the same for the Tigers, and they have struggled to shoot this basketball. Second one off the mark, no good, and that's how the third quarter will end. 18-17. We had a little bit of scoring in that quarter, folks. The Gators scored 10 points, courtesy solely Isaiah Allah. 9 points for the Tigers, including 6 from Jair Bray. Cheer squad's going to come out and bridge the gap between the third and fourth quarter. We'll let them take it away here on Gateway Gator Productions. Teams have returned to the floor, 8 minutes on the clock. Will this be our final quarter of play? A 1-point game here at Gateway High School between the Tigers and your Gateway Gators here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Tigers will start with the ball first. And it's Perkins inside, has the ball stripped away, and a foul is called.
Gator foul, number 11, Allah. 2 shots.
That is not a great call, as Allah looked like he got all ball on that one. It's going to send Perkins to the line, who has 5 points in this one, and is able to knock down the first. Perkins gets them both, and it's back in front for the McKeesport Tigers, who really could use a win. This game, for all intents and purposes, really not all that meaningful for the Gators, who have already clinched the section outright. Really, playoff seeding, the only thing to be gained as Chris Settles lets it fly. And again, the Gators looking for that first three-point make of the night. And Riveras hits the back iron, but again, long shot, long rebound, and the Gators track it down. Kofi and Jax both there, and a take inside, no call, a lot of contact, and McKeesport able finally to come up with the ball after the Gators had a couple really good looks. The officials letting them play underneath there. Tigers, again, not deviating from the plan thus far. It's helped them get to this point within 1 point. And a charge underneath. Chris Settles stands in, absorbs the contact, and a foul Will be called on number 2 for the Tigers, Aaron Reeder. A lot of arguing there from Dan DeRose. But all for naught. Second foul on the night on Reeder. First team foul in the fourth quarter. Each team has 1. Bruce McCrommon through a sea of red jerseys, able to pull that one down and lays it in, playing with 3 fouls. His first points since the second quarter. He has just 6 points overall in this game. We talked about it, a combined 69 points in the last 3 games for Bruce McCrommon. Gators back ahead by 1. And Perkins sort of hanging out there on that G logo at center court. Chris Settles trying not to get too overzealous to get burnt on the drive. Gators had that happen a few times in the third and got burnt in transition a few times with Jair Bray getting behind the defense. And now the boos come back out here from this crowd. And how do you blame them? They want to watch basketball. See a little movement here. And the Tigers will reset. Both these teams with postseason aspirations, and a blocking foul this time. That looked like a pretty similar play to the one we just saw moments ago. Let's take a look.
Number 14, Chris Settles.
And Settles was still moving, so it's going to be a blocking foul. It will should be an inbound under the bucket. No shot was attempted, so it should not be a shooting foul. Neither team in the bonus with just a combined 3 team fouls called here in this fourth quarter. That's the second one on the Gators, the third personal foul on Settles. So Settles, Bruce McCrommon, and Isaiah Allah all playing with 3 fouls. Has a good look underneath, and Perkins lays that one up and in. Now we have a stoppage as the ball got away. Bounced all the way back to the scorer's table. So now it has been retrieved. Geechee scanning his options on the offensive end. Credit to the Tigers, they've played a strong defensive game as Bruce McCrommon's shot is off the mark, but who else? The silent assassin, Isaiah Allah, who has been the catalyst now with 12 points for the Gators, over half the team's output tonight. And he puts the Gators back in front as we approach 4 minutes to play in regulation. The same for the Tigers. We're in no rush whatsoever. Good take underneath. Reeder was able to get just a little bit past Viveris. That's Reeder's first point since the first frame. He has 4 now on the evening. Viveris picks up his dribble, needs a bit of help. Beachy, the open look, and again a three-point shot off the mark, and now McKeesport with a big rebound with 3 minutes left. Gators gonna have to start getting a little bit more aggressive defensively. Bruce McCrommon gonna get called for the push. And I know no one wants to hear it, but he got both hands on the defender. We'll take another look. Push right there. As innocuous as it looked, they're gonna call that. And so Vern Benson will call a timeout with the Gators trailing by 1, and their star player 1 foul away from ejection. Or rather, disqualification. Probably the better term for it there. For the Tigers, this is exactly what you wanted to get yourself to this point in the contest. With the ball up by a point, your playoff hopes hanging in the balance. Two cheer squads been going back and forth all night, bringing the energy. Tip of the hat to both squads. As well as a great crowd on hand here for a Friday night. Braving a little bit of weather, some snow coming down here. Stop me if you've heard that before here in Western Pennsylvania. Certainly if you're local, stay safe this weekend. More frigid temperatures coming through. Resume play, 2:57 left on the clock. McKeesport up 1 with the ball. Bruce McCrommon still on the floor with 4 fouls. And an over and back. He'll get a chance, along with his counterparts, to reclaim the lead. Take another look at the replay. Starting 5 on the floor for the Gators. Beachy drives, tough take, can't get it to go. Forced that one felt rushed. Now the Gators gotta remain aggressive here to try and get this ball back with 2 minutes to play. No one switches, or rather they're late switching over, and it's a charge underneath. Isaiah Allah points after doing the dirty work himself. Perfect positioning, easy call, and the Gators come up with a big play to get the ball back here with 2:11 and a chance to reclaim the lead. And in the weirdest possible way, this has still been a fascinatingly entertaining game that has come down to the wire between these two clubs. Get Bruce McCrommon on the wing. We'll get to Viveris inside. This is the kind of passing you need to take down a zone. Is that one high but catchable for Bruce McCrommon, and Vern Benson gonna call another timeout here. Things looked a little stagnant for the Gators.
At the end of tonight's game, thank you for your cooperation. Please stay off the court at the end of tonight's game.
So the table is set with 1:42 left, a 1-point game. Neither team on the doorstep of the bonus, but the Gators having committed 3 fouls. They got 1 more to give. Just 2 fouls called on McKeesport here in the 4th. Now Law leads all scorers in this contest with 12 points overall. I don't know about you all, this is fun to watch these two cheer squads go back and forth. This is great. These are what rivalries are all about. You can see how badly these teams want to win. These students want to see their school win. These fans want to see their community win. And two rivals that are separated by not all too many miles. Ball's loose. Gators in danger of turning it over, and they get the timeout. Before any McKeesport player could tie the ball up, they were able to get that call as the Gators were in a ton of trouble there. So to stop the clock, just 14 seconds after the last timeout, 1:28 left in the contest. As we now have a full body cutout of McElvers McCrommon in the stands. Got some cutout heads, both large and small, interspersed throughout the crowd. Great energy here on a Friday night. One of these fan bases will have their weekend kicked off with some good vibes. McCrommon fights his way inside, able to get a big shot up and in. With 1:19 left, Gators back in front. Do you see any change of pace at all for the Tigers, or are they content to try and hold for one last take? No, Perkins gonna drive inside himself and lay it up and in. 6 points for Perkins here in the final frame of regulation. Less than a minute to play. Ferris, tough take, can't get it to go. Ball is loose. And the timeout is called. McKeesport will get the timeout called, much like the Gators did a moment ago. And again, we talked about it at the top of the broadcast that with limited opportunities, there's that much more pressure to try and score each and every time you have the ball. For that time, and again, just a rushed shot. Gators will either have to try and generate a turnover relatively quickly or begin to commit fouls to try and send McKeesport to the free throw line, where they, truth be told, neither team has really done all that well thus far tonight. Big inbound play upcoming. Tigers will get it in cleanly, and now they got to get past half court. And a foul called. And good sportsmanship after committing the foul. Settles, rushes over to help pick up Perkins. 7 seconds come off the clock, 32 left. That was the Gators' foul to give. The next one will send McKeesport to the line in the bonus. This inbound will come right in front of the Gators bench. Aaron Reeder will do the obligation. After a quick stoppage, both teams get a chance to catch their breath with a little perspiration on the floor. Now we're ready to resume. Pass is in. Ball nearly tipped away, and now the Gators got a foul. I don't know what they're waiting for here. Ball's loose. Gators come up with it, and it's intercepted back. And now they really have to foul, and they're not doing it. And finally they do with 10.8 seconds left. And again, the Gators get the turnover they desperately needed, but then they threw it away. McKeesport faithful can taste it, but it is far from over. But they got the right guy at the line in Lamont Perkins. But he can't do it. He made his last two. He has 6 points in the fourth quarter. Misses the front end here of these bonus free throws. Perkins gets the second. 7 points now in the fourth frame. He has 12 points, which leads alongside Isaiah Allah, all scores. Last gasp here for the Gators. Ball is loose. Again, they turn it over, and the final few ticks. 0.6 seconds left. Not enough time really for a catch and shoot. It will be Gators ball. And you can just sense the frustration from the Gators.
Timeout, Gators.
We talked about it. McKeesport not doing anything wrong and playing the game this way, but it certainly flips the game fundamentally on its head. So the Gators will have to draw something up here on the inbound and hope for a catch and shoot opportunity. So there are 0.6 seconds on the clock. I know our scoreboard says 0.0. The Gators do have one last gasp to try and either force an extra frame or knock down a shot that would give them a huge win here at home in what otherwise is a relatively meaningless game for the Gators, but credit to the Tigers. They have come out and executed their game plan to perfection and are on the doorstep of scoring a major win for their postseason hopes. And a timeout called now by the other side, Dan DeRose. Fans in here will have to sit on pins and needles for just a few more seconds here before we complete the last 0.6 seconds.
At the end of tonight's game, thank you.
Cal Bruce McCrommon, Chris Settles, Isaiah Allah all have played with 4 fouls for parts of this fourth quarter and done it incredibly well. Tigers not nearly in as much foul trouble. Gators have scored just 6 points in this fourth quarter and left a lot of other points on the table for the Tigers. They've scored 9 in this frame. Will it be enough? Very rarely can you look at a game in which you scored 2 points in the second quarter and come away with a win over a team that's 12-1 in your section. But it's just been that kind of night. Here we go. 1:6 left. Ball swatted away. No call. I think these officials just want to get out of here. Let's take another look at the perfect angle. And there was a ton of body there. An unfortunate way for this game to end. But the Tigers hang on. One more look at it. UB, the one to determine. That was a lot of body before the ball. And that is just a rotten way for the game to end. But a competitive, entertaining game nonetheless. Tigers escape with a big win on the road here against the Gators. 26-24, your final. With Lamont Perkins scoring 12 points in the win, and Isaiah Allah with a dozen in the loss. That'll do it for our entire talented crew. I'm Vince Russo, your announcer on the evening. This has been a joy to bring you another Gateway Gator Productions.com production. We hope everyone stays safe tonight and throughout this weekend with the cold coming through Western Pennsylvania. And we'll see you all the next time out.